So this is another interesting type of curve which is precision recall curve. And let us learn about it. What is precision recall curve? When to use precision recall curve, how to interpret a precision recall curve, and how is it useful to us. So hi, this video is all about learning precision recall curve, their ways, what they signify, what they do, how to implement, how to utilize, all the aspects in a very short and succinct manner. So let's dive in. Let me share my screen. And here we begin. The topic is precision recall curve. So we'll be talking about importance of thresholding and how it is used for model selection and comparison, the same topics which we use for ROC curves. So this is what a precision recall curves look like. Very different from ROC curve. ROC curve looks like something like this. This is no skill line. What is no skill line? Basically nothing. It's just random prediction, everything as a yes or everything as a no. That is no skill. No skill over here is something like this. This is a no skill for precision recall curve. That's not very important. What is important is how to interpret this. So you can see a bit of zigzag over here. What is this? This is the plotting. So why is this a zigzag? So you plot, what is this precision recall curve? First, what is precision recall curve? What is ROC curve? ROC curve had TPR, FPR. What is TPR? True positive rate. What is true positive rate? True positive by true positive plus false positive. What is FPR rate? FP by FP plus true negative. So you are taking into consideration true positive, false negative, and everything. True negative, right? But what is true precision? Precision is true positive by true positive plus false positive. Recall is true positive by true positive plus false negative. There is no mention of true negative. First and the major difference between precision recall curve and the ROC curve is you do not take into consideration true negatives. What is true negatives? The samples of the other type, but not the one which you are concerned with. Okay. How can it help of not taking into consideration if those samples are irrelevant to you? Obviously, if you are only concerned with the samples of the positive or the type you are studying, you do not want to consider the type which are an aberration or deviation from those samples. You can neglect that. And if that is the case study, then precision recall curve is the best possible curve to consider. You got my point? Secondly, let's jump a bit forward. ROC curve versus precision recall curve. When to use a ROC curve? When your samples are balanced, right? That is why you would be concerned with the other type of samples as well. So ROC curve is good for balanced classification. Whereas if your samples are imbalanced, is a case of anomaly detection or medical detection, or you say advertisement, or you say anything where the samples are low. So there is a huge class difference. This is it, precision recall curve. You got the point. The application, where to use, where the samples are imbalanced, highly imbalanced. This gives a good depiction and idea of how to proceed. Coming to the point, how to interpret it. So this is what a curve looks like. Here you plot for confidence threshold value, how it is obtained. Threshold equal to 0.99, 0 point something, 0.96, 979, 0.9, and that is how you obtain the plot. You plot for all the threshold values and you obtain a plot between for a one particular threshold value, what's the precision value, what's the recall value. Now let's get into it. We had talked about it in the previous video, but let's talk again. So a threshold value, let's say a threshold value very low, like here, threshold value very low, threshold value very high, threshold value very low, extremely low. What is it? Threshold value extremely low. These are regions. So this is region 1, this is region 2, this is region 3. So in region 1 we have a very high threshold value. A very high threshold value implies that predictions which are very confident are going to be classified as correct label, are going to be classified as true positive, So this means that there will not be any false positive. Why? So if you're setting like, okay, if you are confident more than 90%, then only classify it as a positive sample, else don't positive, classify as a positive sample. So in that case, your false positive would definitely decrease, because you would not be randomly classifying a low confident sample of 0.6, 0.7 confidence value as the positive sample. So this ensures that false positives significantly decrease. But what about a sample which had a confidence value of 0.8, 0.85? That would be missed out. So here you miss out. In the region 1, you miss out some positive samples. So missing out on positive samples is false negative, and lowering the misclassifications is lowering the false positives. Lowering the false positives is increasing the precision. Missing out on false negatives, missing out on positive samples is false negatives. Increasing false negatives is decreased recall value. So that is what region 1 is about. Coming to region 2, we have balance. So we will not talk about region 2 now. We'll talk about region 3, and region 2 is basically intermediate effect, and that is what usually most desirable, until unless you are wanting for a high precision value no matter what the recall is, or you want a high recall value no matter what the precision value is. So let's talk about the region 3. Region 3 talks about a very high recall value, threshold very less, 0.2. A threshold of 0.2 would mean that you do not want to miss out on any of the predictions. Okay, you say like, okay, no matter what the prediction is, let me know all the predictions made by the model. This will ensure that you are not missing out anything. If you're not missing out anything, your false negatives would be 0. Okay, so if you're not missing out on anything, your false negatives would be 0. If it is still unclear, go back to the previous video, compare all the charts which I had discussed. I know this is a difficult topic to understand in such a short span of time, but please do revisit. I have explained it in great depth in the previous. What happens if the threshold value is low, what happens if threshold value is high. In the ROC curve video, I have explained it very well. So I need not to revisit that. So if your threshold value is low, your false negatives will decrease, but false positives will significantly increase. False positives increasing is an indication of low precision value, but false negatives decreasing is an indication of high recall value. And in the region 2, we have an intermediate between the two. And intermediate between two is what is usually desirable. So till now we have learned about how it is plotted by the various threshold values 0.99, 0.982, 0.1, 0.11, 0.005, whatever it is. You plot for all the threshold. For every threshold, you plot the precision and the recall. Precision as y, recall as x. You point those plots and get the ultimate plot. Area under it is also known as mean average precision. Now let's talk about this curve, which is very interesting. This curve talks about the precision recall curve for a multi-class classification. For a multi-class classification, you take into consideration, like you plot the precision recall curve as 1 versus rest. So 1 versus rest, plot 1 for class 1, for class 2, for class 3. This particular line is the micro average precision recall curve. So this shows, like, this is the average precision recall curve for all the classes, and this also does not take into consideration the class imbalance which exists, right? Obviously, because it does not take into consideration the true negative. If you are not taking into consideration the other classes while calculating for one class, how will it be causing imbalance? So it is the best classifier for imbalanced data. I hope this summarizes to a great extent. If there's any point that you wouldn't have you haven't understood and you would like that to be repeated, please let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to help you out. Alright, take care, bye bye.